Let's take a look at the 6 main roadblocks to vaccination in India right now. I've just shown you those very impressive figures. 1.7 crore people above the age of 18 have registered on the CoWIN website to get their vaccination. But it's not going to be an easy road. That's the bad news. It's going to be quite difficult, but we need to come together because that vaccination is something where failure is not an option. Everybody needs to get vaccinated. Here are the roadblocks to the big vaccine drive. The states are claiming a vaccine shortage. Number one, as a result of which many have said they cannot begin vaccinating people above 18 from the 1st of May. Vaccine centers are out of stock. There is a delay in appointment booking on the CoWIN website for private centers. Many private hospitals have been told to return their unused stock of vaccines. As you've seen in India Today's ground reports, there's a lot of crowding at vaccine centers with large numbers of people lining up. There are huge lines for vaccines, which is the most undesirable thing at this time because there can be a spread of the coronavirus in these lines. And of course, there is a lot of politics that is fueling vaccine hesitancy, especially by the opposition. After the failure by the government, the kind of politics that has been played by the opposition in fueling vaccine hesitancy is something that needs to be called out as well. The countdown to vaccination for all drive has formally begun. 1.7 crore people above the age of 18 have registered on the CoWIN portal till 11 a.m. according to Indian government data. The registrations for beneficiaries between the age of 18 and 45 opened on Wednesday, triggering mass hysteria. At least 1.37 crore beneficiaries registered themselves on day one itself. Now let's tell you about the states which have claimed that there is no way they can start vaccinating people above 18 from the 1st of May and probably only later in the month. And this is going to be one of the reasons why there will be delays. Even if you've registered on the CoWIN app, here's why there could be delays. Punjab claims they don't have vaccine stocks and will only receive them on the 15th of May or later. Rajasthan claims vaccine for all will be rolled out only on the 15th of May. Ashok Gehlot, the Chief Minister, tested COVID positive today. The Chhattisgarh Chief Minister has written to Prime Minister Modi asking for more vaccines. It's unlikely that Chhattisgarh will be able to vaccinate from the 1st of May either. Jharkhand has sought 50 lakh advance vaccination doses. They have not got those either. They are unlikely to be able to do it. The Delhi Chief Minister has requested pharma companies for more stocks of vaccines. So it looks like May the 1st is very, very optimistic as far as Delhi is concerned. Maharashtra claims no vaccination for all from the 1st of May. So if you're in Mumbai or any part of Maharashtra, from the 1st of May, it's unlikely that you will be vaccinated. It will happen sometime later in the month once the vaccine stocks start rolling in. But I want to say this once again to our viewers across the country. Please register. You will get your chance. These delays that are happening are a result of faulty planning, lack of forward planning, and many other different aspects of the entire planning process for vaccines between the state and the centre, at the central level, by the COVID task force, etc. But that is not something you need to worry about right now. Your priority needs to be to get the vaccine. So please register on the website. These problems will have to take care of themselves in the next few days. The government has started the process of registration for those above the age of 18. But apart from numerous glitches, as also the lack of appointment slots in the CoWIN website, the backbone of the vaccination drive, there are other problems that lie ahead. The shortage of doses, like I just showed you, and also the inability of states to procure vaccines directly will make the wait longer for many. Sneha Mordani with more in this report.
Jabs for all adults. Yes, on paper, but no, in reality. The government has asked states to use stocks of the vaccine in such a way that only the freshly procured vaccines directly by the states from the vaccine developing companies are used for inoculating those above the age of 18. Which means the over 1 crore doses lying with states can be used only for the priority groups. States have already highlighted the problem of inability to procure doses from vaccine companies on time.
We should be very clear that if we have a stock, let us say, of 4 lakh vaccines today, suppose we have even a stock of 50,000 vaccines on the 1st of May. Can we use the stock of the government of India for vaccinating those between 18 and 45? We cannot.
Please just tell me, what is it that you expect? Do you expect the centre to do most of the procurement for you and give it to you, because then the price parity is maintained and you want to do some amount of procurement and deal with both Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech yourself?
From day one, since the vaccination program has started, I have been on record saying that if there have been various choices, people have said various things. But I have always maintained that there should be only one agency purchasing the vaccine and supplying it, and that must be the government of India.
Apart from Chhattisgarh, Punjab, Rajasthan, Assam and Jharkhand have also been told by vaccine developers that fresh stocks can be provided only after mid-May. The centre claims they have provided 16 crore doses already to the states. More than 1 crore doses are lying with the states. More than 57 lakh doses will be provided in the next 3 days, says the Union Health Ministry. The centre has also shared a breakup of availability of doses with the states. It has also claimed wastage by the states. Experts also say, given the shortage, there could have been better prioritization.
Vaccine dosages will be in short supply, and not everybody may be able to get vaccine at that time. So it is very essential that we focus the vaccine on those districts which have the maximum cases of COVID-19 in each state.
In addition, registrations in CoWIN, the only way to get a shot since walk-in vaccinations from 1st of May for those above the age of 18 is not allowed, saw many glitches. The software faced numerous challenges. For some, the OTP could not be generated. For others, the slots were not allocated even after successful registration.
We haven't been able to get the OTP because every time you need to register or enter the CoWIN website, you need an OTP. And the OTP is valid for 3 minutes, but it comes after 5 or 6 minutes, which renders it completely useless.
So I got my OTP, I registered myself, but I couldn't able to use the slot because it's showing it is only for above 45 years age.
Well, in spite of the centre opening up the vaccination drive for those above the age of 18, there are many problems. A, there is a shortage of vaccines already. B, the centre's directive to states to only use vaccines for those above the age of 18 that they have procured themselves from these companies directly is going to create a lot of hindrance in the effective starting off of this drive. There are no walk-in vaccinations for those above the age of 18, and registering with CoWIN also is getting extremely difficult. The wait for those above the age of 18 is only going to get longer. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today.
She reporting from Mumbai. Sahil, the Maharashtra government making it pretty clear that vaccinations for people above 18 from the 1st of May is going to be very unlikely because there are simply no stocks. By when will people who have already registered in Mumbai and the rest of Maharashtra, when can they expect to get their vaccines?
Well, the reports are not very clear because we ourselves have called various people, including the local administrations from 5 important cities of Maharashtra, Mumbai, Pune, Nasik, Aurangabad and Nagpur. All the local administrations have also said that there is no clarity that since when actually vaccination can begin for the age of 18 to 44 age group. But at the same time, today now the BMC has taken a decision that there will be no vaccination in Mumbai at all for next 3 days because there is no, right now they do not have enough stock for vaccination. At the same time, looking at the visuals, what we were running since morning, that there were long queues outside various vaccination centers.
Yes.
Now the BMC has also taken a decision that there will not be any on-counter registration. So you will have to go through app. Right now, the people have only registered themselves as a person who needs to have a vaccination, but there are no centers mentioned at this point of time. What Rajesh Tope clearly said yesterday, that the state needs at least 12 crore vaccines so that they can vaccinate 5 crore 70 lakh people who are in the age group of 18 to 44. They have said that they have spoken to Covishield, the Serum Institute, as well as Bharat Biotech. There is no specific answer from them. Whereas the Serum Institute sources now say that in a week's time, they will be providing some vaccines to the states which have the highest number of cases. That is the 5 states in which the Maharashtra also says. But the Maharashtra government maintains that there is no official communication from Serum Institute at this point of time. As right now when we are speaking,
yes,
the Maharashtra Chief Minister is having a meeting with his ministers and senior officials that how this vaccination drive now can continue. But it needs a proper stock. It needs a proper supply of vaccine chain for next couple of months, so that the people who are in the age group of 18 to 44 also can be vaccinated.
Anand, what's the situation in Delhi? The Delhi government has also made it quite clear that even though people have registered, it's unlikely that vaccinations for 18 plus will be administered from the 1st of May. It's going to take a few days.
Well, absolutely. This is what the states have landed into. This is a situation which has been created by the, as per the state governments, a haste by the center to launch the 3rd phase of vaccination for the younger generation. Now, the situation is this, that the states are still not complete with the 45 plus category vaccination, the phase 2nd of the vaccination, and the centers have already run dry. There are many centers which have been shut down because of shortage of vaccination. On top of that, if you launch the 3rd phase of vaccination without any clarity as to when will the vaccines arrive, who will give the vaccines, because up till now the center has been saying that the 50% quota has been fixed for the center and 50% rest. Out of that, even the private hospitals will be eligible to procure from the Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech. But both these manufacturers have made it clear that till 15th of May, all these supplies have already been booked for the center itself. They don't have any quota for the states. Now, how can the states go on with rolling on the 3rd phase of drive without any vaccines? And that too, without any support from the center. They have already made it clear that they are ready to bear the cost, whatever the cost of the vaccines is. But the vaccine should be made available to them. I spoke to Chhattisgarh Chief Minister earlier in the day today, and he was saying that the center should not have gone ahead with the registration, because tomorrow, if on the 1st of May, all these people who've registered themselves for the vaccines turn up at the vaccine centers which are already existing for 45 years of age, what will happen? It will be a law and order situation.
Absolutely.
And who will be responsible for that? So the 3rd phase vaccination registration should have been left to the states, and it should have been focused on states where there are high number of cases, and also within the states in the districts where the cases are more.
Absolutely.
So the 3rd phase should have been entirely left on to the state governments, and the center clearly has left them in a lurch without any supplies for vaccines.
And the opposition has blamed the government at the center for choosing May 1st just as political messaging, maybe to take the heat off the government as a result of all the various lapses that have come to light in the last few days. And therefore, if you can't start vaccinating people in meaningful numbers from the 1st of May, what was the point of this deadline for vaccine 3.0 at all? Once again, even while we highlight all the problems, I want to tell all of our viewers, please don't hesitate to begin the process to get vaccinated. These problems, these delays will happen. There is a crisis in this country at many different levels. We at India Today will continue to report them and give you authentic information. But it is your job and it is your duty, both to yourself, to your families and to your fellow citizens, to register and to get yourself in line for those vaccines whenever they may happen. That is your duty, and we will continue to bring you the correct information on that front. Sahil and Anand, thank you very much for that. Let's take a look at some of the major states which have announced free vaccination for all when the vaccination 3.0 begins. Maharashtra has said vaccine for all above 18 will be free. Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Punjab and Haryana. All of these states have announced free vaccine for all as part of Vaccine 3.0. So there will be many more states that will likely join that list. Now, registrations have been open for all above the age of 18 since yesterday 4 p.m. to get their COVID vaccines. But right now, it doesn't amount to much, as states and private players are yet to buy the required doses of those vaccines, as Sahil and Anand were telling us. The vaccine drive for those above 45 continues parallelly. A huge rush is being seen at vaccine centres across the country. Long lines. Take a look. Mumbai, Tiruvananthapuram, Kolkata. Crowds at vaccine centres seem to have crushed vaccine hesitancy in India. While vaccine is a shield against the corona infection, vaccine centres could turn out to be super spreaders. Because no social distancing, incorrect masking, masks on the chin, nose exposed, the risk of catching COVID-19 infection is high even at vaccination centres.
We are at the Nesco Vaccination Centre in the suburban area of Goregaon in Mumbai. First of all, have a look at the long queue outside the vaccination centre. The biggest fear among the Mumbaikars these days is whether or not they will get the vaccine in time or not.
As some centres run out of vaccines, angry outbursts at the centres have become common.
हमारा रजिस्ट्रेशन सायन हॉस्पिटल में था, अभी हम वहाँ गए, वो बोलते नहीं है। हमने बोला बीकेसी में पहला डोज लिया, वहाँ जाएं, क्या बोले हाँ वहाँ स्टॉक है। तो हम टैक्सी करके आए अभी यहाँ पर, और अभी यहाँ बोल रहे नहीं, आप नंबर लेके जाइए।
7 हिल्स में हमने फर्स्ट डोज लिया था, वहाँ पे नहीं था, तो हम यहाँ आए, यहाँ भी नहीं है, अब वापस घर जाएंगे।
वहाँ पे भी बंद है, फिर यहाँ पे आए।
These long lines tell you the story of people standing to get the second dose of the vaccination, whereas on the other side there are people waiting to get the first dose of the vaccine. There are senior citizens in this line and they are facing difficulties because standing in the sun, many of them have been standing from half an hour to some even 1.5 hours. There is no clarity when they're going to get their form. Those who've got their form, there's no clarity when they're going to get the second dose of vaccine, but they are waiting, they are hopeful.
While vaccine is the only antidote to save India from this crisis, COVID inappropriate behaviour is doing much more harm than anticipated, especially during the second surge.
आप अनुशासन से काम कीजिए, कोई भीड़-भाड़ वहाँ पर न कीजिए, और ऐसा न हो कि वैक्सीनेशन के सेंटर्स ये कोविड-19 संक्रमण के सेंटर्स बने, ऐसा न हो, ये खबरदारी हम सभी लोगों ने लेने की जरूरत है.
Expect more rush as vaccination opens for all above the age of 18 years.
The government and the health ministry have warned that only after taking a confirmed appointment booking on the CoWIN platform should one step out to the vaccine centers to get the jab, to avoid the sort of overcrowding that is being witnessed at this point. But the question is, will people wait now as COVID surges and the vaccine remains the only antidote against the virus? With Bureau Reports, this is Milan Sharma for India Today.
Now let's tell you about India's very own homegrown Covaxin, which has just received a huge word of endorsement from one of the biggest world authorities. The COVID vaccine produced by India's Bharat Biotech has been found to neutralize the B.1.617 double mutant strain, which is behind the big surge in India right now. White House Chief Medical Advisor Anthony Fauci said Covaxin can neutralize the 617 variant. The observation is important since it gives the vaccination drive a real chance to tame the current spike, despite initial teething troubles. Covaxin was developed by India's Bharat Biotech in partnership with the National Institute of Virology and the ICMR. It was approved for emergency use on the 3rd of January while still in clinical trials. Trial results later showed the vaccine has an overall efficacy of 78% and is 100% in preventing serious COVID symptoms.
We have the troublesome India 617. Next slide. Now, this is something where we're still gaining data on a daily basis. But the most recent data was looking at convalescent sera of COVID-19 cases and people who received the vaccine used in India, the Covaxin. And it was found to neutralize the 617 variant. So despite the real difficulty that we're seeing in India, vaccination could be a very, very important antidote against this. The one thing you can gather from everything I've said, that it's very important to get vaccinated.
Now, apart from Covishield and Covaxin, which has just got that big shout out from abroad, India is all set to roll out Russia's COVID vaccine Sputnik V from the 1st of May. The Russian Direct Investment Fund has tied up with India's 5 leading manufacturers to produce 850 million doses of Sputnik annually. Well, this as Russia has extended help to India after Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed his support to Prime Minister Modi over the phone yesterday. Meanwhile, India Today's Geeta Mohan spoke to the Russian ambassador to India, Nikolai Kudashev, on Russia's help to India in this regard. Listen in.
If you could explain to us, when is the Sputnik vaccine coming to India for the first rollout from May 1st, and then the production of Sputnik vaccine in India itself?
Well, as far as Sputnik V vaccine is concerned, its early supplies will be a welcome step, especially at this vital moment when we see a deadly second wave with unprecedented scale of COVID-19. We expect that first batches will reach India in coming days, in a matter of days, with the start of local production to follow afterwards, but very shortly. It will be a considerable amount, but let's wait for an official announcement to know exactly the figures, to know exactly how much. This announcement could be done jointly by the Indian and Russian authorities. Produced volumes are planned to be gradually increased summertime up to 850 million. I repeat, 850 million doses per year. These are coming very soon. Well, as you know, efficacy of the Sputnik V vaccine is well above 91%. It is used in about 60 more countries. And certainly, I'm sure it will be helpful to control the spread of COVID-19 in India, including with regard to new strains of coronavirus. I repeat, new strains, and it was confirmed by the Gamaleya Medical Center, its director, academician Ginsburg in Moscow, the center which developed the Sputnik V vaccine.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.